Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector, and today we are here and we played our first game at Dice Tower East 2024 at the Caribe Royale Hotel here in beautiful, sunny, hot, steamy Orlando, Florida. And this is a 2024 title, and the Ryan Courtney is he the game designer? No. Yeah, Ryan Courtney. This is a deduction game about you're in a castle. Yes, I read it. What was it? You're in a castle and you're trying. Yeah, and you're trying to find treasures. You're treasure hunters in this castle, and you're trying to find the most treasures, and those are your victory points. It's a mansion. Yeah, in this Spectral Mansion or whatever. But the pieces in this game are incredible, man. These chunky skulls and the point tokens that are they're all glass. Man, it's sweet. And then these neoprene mats that you put the cards on, and you're going to lay out a grid of 4x4 in this game. And everybody has one of these notebooks in your player color, and it looks like this on the inside, and you're going to simply cross off on the top half when you see a card, and then on the bottom half, you're going to record the information on that card that you looked at, because all these cards will be face down when you start the game. You only turn them up when you resolve the end game. And I didn't think I would like this game because I really don't like deduction games, but this game is really cool. And this is Lori's jam.
Who won?
And it took her a while to get her head around it. But it is a cool game. 2 to 5 players. Yeah, 30-minute playtime. That's right in our wheelhouse for sure as far as playtime. And you have all these little treasure hunter wooden pieces that you're going to be surrounding these cards. And then you also have these rubble pieces.
Mine are all over here.
You have these rubble pieces that count as a 2-value player. Because we're playing 2 players, we had to put these rubble pieces to simulate another player. So they count as 2 value. Now, when you go there with your treasure hunter, you have to double that value in order to put a treasure hunter in that space. And as you are marking off your information on your page, you're going to realize or make a good guess as to where the curses are and to where the gems are. And as soon as you think you know enough information that you're doing pretty good, as soon as both players pass or all your treasure hunters have been placed, the game ends. Once the game ends, you're going to start in one corner and turn over each card and resolve it and find out where really the curses and the gems are. The only gem tokens that are going to be on the board are these 12 value, and depending on how many players are surrounding that particular, like this one, we have 36 points on this card, and then Lori's got a 2 value treasure hunter, or she's got 1 space with a treasure hunter on her, and I have 3. So I would get 3 and she would get 1. How do we separate them? I don't remember.
We should have divided it by 4.
Yeah, but that's what these gem tokens are for. Once you decide how the points are distributed, you're going to take these. That's all these are for, is for scoring at the end of the game. But yay! Oh man, that is a pretty cool game. It's pretty. I don't know.
Still a little bit shocked.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a game I want to take home today, but I would definitely like to play this some more. And I don't know if this is the deluxe edition or if this is the retail. If this is the retail edition, I don't know if I can keep myself from getting this game.
It even has sleeves.
Yeah, the cards are all
sleeves.
Yeah, super cool game. This isn't a roll and write, but I usually don't like getting out a pencil in a board game. But this is pretty cool. I watched Tom Vassell actually talk about this game, and I was intrigued enough that I wanted to play it because we're going to do our top games of 2024. This is going to make the. I don't see how this can't make the list. It's a super cool game. Plays fast. You are just simply crossing off information as you figure it out, and you can predict what's left after you see some certain cards. You're just after you cross off so many of those cards, you can see what's left of those cards, and then or can make a prediction as to what is where. And that's the whole idea of this game, is to do that quicker than the other guy, to be able to predict where things are, have your treasure hunters on those spaces. And if you are next to one of these curse tokens, which Lori was, I think she had a couple here.
I did terrible.
She had a couple of her treasure hunters next to these curse tokens, and boom, boom, they go back in the box and they don't score. So that's kind of that hurts. Hurts you in the game. But I mean, this is the first time we play the game, and we're only going to play it once. I mean, we're at a convention. We're going to play as many 2024 games as we can. This was sitting on the shelf, and next we're going to play this one here, Leviathan Wilds. Yeah, I want to tell you guys about it. If you like deduction, that sounds like something you would like, you've got to check this game out because it is sweet looking on the table, and it is a fun game to play. And I generally don't like deduction games, but I am thinking hard about. I don't know if you can even get this, but man, if it looks like this, I don't know if I can keep myself from it. We'll have to see. Hey, that's it for right now. We're going to play Leviathan Wilds, which I got to read the rule book and learn that game. I had to read the rule book and learn this game, and this was hard to wrap my head around, so it took me a few minutes. But yeah, we'll get back to you as soon as we get Leviathan Wilds played, and see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, you guys. Welcome to Bones Collector. We're here at the Dice Tower East. Again, playing another game. It's called Leviathan Wilds. It's a 2024 title, and the game is for 1 to 4 players. An hour playtime, designed by Justin Kampanen and Todd Michlich. And Leviathan Wilds was a video game that was translated and transcribed down into a board game, and they're doing that a lot nowadays. And the ones I can think of right now are Slay the Spire, and I think Sanctum was Diablo, the video game. But in this game, to begin, we're trying to battle these Leviathans. And the way that happens is these dice will be all over the board and where they say they're going to go. It tells you where to put them on this board and what values they're going to be. And you want to get these removed off the board before this track goes up and you lose the game. So the way you're doing that is you're going to choose a class and a character. You have a character card you're going to put on your player board right here, and you're going to have a class that's going to give you cards, and you're going to shuffle your character cards and your class cards together in a deck. This is a hand management game, so you're going to shuffle all these cards and then deal yourself out 3 cards, like you do, and then you're going to select from those 3 cards how to use this card. You can use it 2 different ways. You can use it as a skill, which is the bottom, or you can use it as action points, which is on the top of the card. And then you spend those action points to move around the board and do various things. And you want to devolve these dice from their value down to 0 and get them off the board so that you can defeat this giant turtle. This is the easiest one to face, and we did that so that we could learn the game. I do have to say, the components of this game are really nice. All the cardstock is linen. This player board's pretty nice because it gives you, it shows you how much you have to spend to do these different actions. And then you have some anytime actions you can do, and then you have a focus token that you can employ. And once you do focus, then you have to flip it over and on the other side. And there's some special for your character. You have special tokens that you can use to activate skills. You have these mushrooms you can pick up all over the board that give you extra things you can use anytime. And then the injury cards come into play. They can injure players, or climbers, excuse me. And then up here is the threat row. And what happens is all these cards will be turned over like this. And when the turquoise side is up, that's the enraged. The purple side is normal, I guess. But as you start out, when you start the game, you're going to have all these purple side up because they're easier. And then before your turn, you turn one of these over. And then you're the active player, you turn one of these over, you take your turn, and then once your turn is over, you're going to resolve the top of that card. As you go through the game, these start to turn over to their turquoise side, so that when you turn that over, you would have to resolve this. And you can see it's exponentially worse. So as the game goes on, they become enraged, and the game gets harder and harder, and that's how it ratchets up the difficulty level as you go through the game. But you're going to be climbing around on this Leviathan, and there's different icons on the board that are going to slow you down, that are going to make you lose health, or what was this one? Make you fall?
Lose, got to get rid of a card.
Oh, you have to discard a card, yeah. So you have to kind of maneuver around those things, but also on
and these made you fall.
Yes. If you see the circles that don't have any lines, you're just going to fall through those. So you can fall, and and keep trying to climb yourself back up to these different dice to try to get them off the board. And then on your cards also you have the opportunity, you can see here, you have some iconography on it, so you can pass through those without any damage. Yeah, I mean, the rule book in this game was terrible. It took me 45 minutes just to kind of get an idea of how to play this. Maybe they assume you've played the video game. I think that's probably what it feels like, and because you do not learn how to play this game by reading the rule book.
Nope.
And so, be forewarned. So that was really maddening because I don't know, I probably spent an hour.
More than that.
And that's frustrating, trying to figure out how to play this game.
2:30.
Yeah. So that was, but once I got an hour in, I'm not quitting.
Yeah.
And we did figure out how to play it for the most part. These are attack rings that are going to go around you, and if you don't get out of that attack ring, and if one of these cards will show you, if you don't get away from that attack ring at least 2 spaces away, you're going to have to suffer the attack, which is -2 health. And it gets worse and worse. And I think one of these cards, let's see, in range one. Look at that one. So you're going to have a heck of a time getting away from that attack. But various things like that. You get a whole deck of cards, all kinds of cards in this game. Like I say, there's 18 Leviathans in this book. So you have, this is Leviathans 9 through 17, and this is Leviathans 1 through 8, and I imagine they get harder as you go through this book. And you got a whole deck of character cards and class cards that you're going to be able to use in this game. I don't really know how I feel about the game because the rulebook was so poor. It seems like it would be fun. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, it's a crisis management, obviously.
It probably is fun, but the rules are terrible.
The rules are terrible. So we didn't get very much enjoyment out of this particular episode of the game, and I'm sorry for that, but that happens, and it happens a lot of conventions because you're reading rule books and learning the game on the fly. It looks like there's a lot of game here. It's cooperative. I didn't mention that. Right?
Oh yeah.
This is a cooperative adventure. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. If I would want to play this again.
I know.
Wow. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. Hey, so that's Leviathan Wilds from 2024. We'll see you in the next episode of The Bones Collector. Bye-bye. Hey, everybody. How you doing? This is Bones Collector. And yes, we're still here at the beautiful Caribe Royale Hotel. But we don't belong because this is a lot classier than we are. But we're playing board games with friends, with as many board games as we can play today. This is our third one. And this game is called Cities by Phil Walker Harding. By Phil Walker Harding and Steve Finn. Now, you know Steve Finn did Biblios, and what else? We have, what's that one with the little cabinet of whatchamacallits? Whatnot cabinet.
Whatnot cabinet.
Whatnot.
Yeah.
Whatnot cabinet. And then Phil Walker Harding, we, of course, have played Barron Park and Gingerbread House, and Imhotep is still in our library because that's our favorite by him, actually. But so they collaborated and made this game called Cities, and it's kind of a worker placement, grab what you can, tile laying, city building, a game that is pretty fun. But don't take my word for it. Let's talk to young people who actually have a grasp on reality. This is Eli and Mariah.
Hello,
Eli,
hello.
What do you think of it?
Grasp on reality is debatable, but grasp on cities is another thing. It is super clean. I love how quick and snappy the turns are, and the variability is also nice too. Because you can have how many different cities that you can play? 8 different cities. Yeah, four tiles with 2 each. So that changes up the public scoring. And then we're claiming these private little objectives throughout, which is kind of similar to like some other games that like Floriferous. I think
Floriferous
has that like Floriferous has like the little objectives that you're grabbing.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but I know what you're talking about.
And there's another one too, but I can't think of it right now. Ride the Rails. Wasn't it Ride the Rail? Oh, Village Rails. Village Rails. That was another one that does something similar. But anyway, super
You enjoyed it though?
I very much enjoyed it.
Mariah, what do you think?
I'll just let you have it.
Okay. Favorite part is everybody can only take one action on each row.
Yes, that was
So
hard.
it makes you, even if you're not first player, you could get to a row first and get what you want. So you're not kind of like always last. So that was really good. I enjoyed that.
Hey, I thought it was an excellent game. I agree with everything that they said, the points that they made about you can select one item out of each row, so it's pretty easy to keep in your head what you're doing. I like being first player in this game. It's something I thought about as the game went on. I didn't realize at the beginning how important it was, but I think as the game went on, I was like, I think I like being first player because it's just
Maybe
so
that's
much.
what I did wrong. I never took first player.
So much happens off of these tiles.
Yeah.
So your city, your 3x3 grid that you're building, everything escalates off of this board. So whatever you're building, then you're going to be selecting things to put in your parks and in your waters and so forth. But hey, it's a smooth game. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good time, and we really enjoyed it more because we got to share it with some young friends. And Lori and I are long in the tooth, but we still like to play board games with young people because we love young people. And
I used to be one.
it was a pleasure. And this is a really good game. It's a small box game by DeVere, and they do a good job with small box
Yeah, they
games.
really do.
So it won't take up much space.
Production's nice.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, absolutely. Wooden meeples, and I love these. The public goals on these city boards is pretty cool, just because you can change them out every game, and that makes the game fresh each time. So that's pretty cool. But hey, that's our third game of the day. It's probably it. We might get to drive home. I can't remember if we're going to go home. Probably. Yeah, and then we'll film some more tomorrow and all week long here at the wonderful Dice Tower East Convention. Tom Vassal's big party here in Orlando. And we'll see you tomorrow on the Bones Collector. I love every one of you. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bones Collector. We're here at the Caribe Royale at the Dice Tower Con East. And we played a 2024 title. We just finished it, called Way Too Many Cats. Said no one ever. If you like cats, you got cats. This is designed by Carla Kopp with art by Ilse Hines. So I really like the art in this game, and I like the publishing in the game, and the game is pretty nice design. It's for 1 to 6 players, 45 to 60 minutes. It takes you less than an hour. It's
With
two people to half an
yeah.
hour. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Ages 10 and up, and it's a cute game. But the publishing of the game is pretty nice. All this stuff is linen. These kitten scoring boards and your cat shelters. All the cat cards are linen. That's real nice. Nice token stock. And they comes with these handy reference cards too that really helped us out. It's a tile laying game. You're running a cat shelter and you're putting these cats on your cat shelter board and trying to get the iconography relationship going so you can score points depending on where you put these cats. And you can give them toys and make them happier because cuteness scores. That's how you win. However many cuteness points you have. And then on this kitten scoring board, as you can see, you get 8 points for every row you complete. And for every row you don't complete, all these cats are minus 2 points apiece. And then because there was a full row here, that's a bonus of 15 points for one of every cat. I wasn't able to do that. So Lori won this game. It's very similar to so many other tile laying games. It really doesn't stand out for any reason other than it's got a cute factor for the cats. The rule book in this game is terrible. If it wasn't for this reference card, we would have never probably figured out how to score this game. And they don't give really good. They don't give a turn example at all in the rule book. As far and just the explanations of how things score was terrible. Yeah. But it's an easy game, so you're able to figure it out. I guess is about the only redeeming value. But I would not suggest this if you have some good tile laying games. This isn't going to replace any of them. And
That's the only reason you get this if you like cats.
if you like cats,
And the Kickstarter has wooden cats, so
Yeah.
that would give you even more reason.
yeah. But we have Isle of Cats and we
Yes,
have
we do.
Calico,
Yeah.
and both those games are better than this.
Yeah.
So I don't think this would find its way into our home. And we're getting ready to play another game called Captain Flip, which looks really interesting. And we'll play that and let you know how that goes. So hope you're having a great gaming day. See you next time. I love you. Bye-bye. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Bones Collector. We're here at Dice Tower Con East playing 2024 titles, which is what we use this convention for. This way I don't have to go out and buy these games. I don't have publishers that send me games for review copies or anything like that. So we have to do this. And the game we just finished playing is Captain Flip. Captain Flip is designed by Paolo Mori and Remo Canzadori. I've heard of Remo Canzadori, and of course I've heard of Paolo Mori. We have Ethnos by him, and we have Vasco da Gama. A couple of outstanding games with Paolo Mori. And we had, what was the one where you put the things down in the
Fairy Tale Inn.
Fairy Tale Inn? That was kind of fun. But he's a very good board game designer. And this game is up for the Spiel des Jahres.
Is it?
Yes,
Okay.
Captain Flip. And
I can see why.
I would predict this may win. This one has pretty broad appeal. And by that I mean it's a game that everybody can enjoy, even if you just started playing board games. If
And
you're
the
not,
directions are written.
Yeah.
Like you just started playing board games.
and it comes with player
And they
aids to
look like
help
this.
you play. It has 4 different maps in the box. So, you're simply drawing tiles, character tiles, out of this draw bag. You can't look at both sides. You draw it out and you make sure you only look at one side. And then you decide, do I want to play that tile that I just drew, or do I want to flip it and see what's on the other side and play that? So that's pretty
But if
interesting.
you flip it, you have to take
If you
that
flip
side.
it, you have to take that side. You have to resist the urge, to flip it and look at it, because it just seems like you should do that in a game. But you have to not do that, because if you flip it, you have to play it. So you're going to draw those out, and then all 9 characters. There's 9 characters. Get you points in a different way. Like the monkey, if you put him down, he gives you $1. But wherever you put him, he flips the tile above or below, or left or right, and flip the tile. It's already been played on your board, and that can be handy sometimes. And then there's a gunner that if you get one of these gunners, and I don't have one. You got one?
Yeah.
There's a gunner, and he gives you $5 immediately. But if you have 2 or more, if you have 3 of them, on your board, you automatically lose the
Game's
game.
over.
Yeah, you automatically lose the game. So if you put 2 of them down, that gives you $10 right now. But if you draw a tile out of that bag on your next turn, and you look at it, and it's something you don't want, you flip it, and it's a gunner. And too bad,
You
Jack.
just couldn't flip it. You just had to keep it.
Yeah, you would never be able to flip tiles the
No.
rest of the game,
No.
or take a chance and really push your luck. But each one of these map tiles, this is a desert island. You have to start laying your tiles at the bottom of this map. And you can see the black arrows. And then at the top, it gives you a different benefit when you get there. And each map is different. That's a desert island we just showed you. And this is the raft. So you get the cartographer's map if you're up there. And that's this big cardboard piece right here. And whoever has that at the end of their turn gets $1. And that's kind of hard to remember.
It's hard to remember.
Because it's going back
To
and
do it every
forth.
turn,
So
yeah.
when you're taking your turn, oh, I forgot, I have the cartographer's map, I get $1. So you have to kind of remember that, make yourself remember that. And then, okay, boom, boom, boom. The other maps are, the Kraken. So the Kraken here give different kinds of gold benefits when you get up there. And then the one that they suggest using at the beginning is the pirate ship.
Looking. It's on the back of all of them.
Is it? Oh, it's on the back of the Kraken, yeah. There, that's the one we started with. And you get the cartographer's map. If you get up there, you get $5 if you're the first one to get up there. Or if you just, probably everybody, right? As soon as you fill that up.
Yeah, you don't have to
You
get
get
the first
$5.
one on this
Yeah.
map. Everybody gets it.
And then you get $3 to finish that column. But it's that kind of lightweight game that everybody can. It's very inviting. The cartoonish images on the tiles are fun, and there's enough going on to make the game a good time for anybody. And so this is probably, I would predict this may win the Spiel des
It
Jahres.
take us 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you play a game in 15 minutes. And
Well, it says 20 on the box. That's close.
Yeah. But it's brilliant. Captain Flip, and then whoever has the most gold, hey, matey, at the end of the game wins. So you're collecting these gold coins, and whoever has the most at the end of the game wins. Some points are scored during the game, and some points are scored after the game. So, yeah, that is pretty much Captain Flip. I like this game a lot because it is what it is. You know, it's not a complex game. It's got that neat mechanic that you can't look at both sides of the tile, and you have to decide, do I want what I'm looking at, or is the grass greener on the other side? And
sometimes it's not.
sometimes it's not. But you flip that, and you have to play that particular tile. So that's a fun thing. This game's going to be pretty popular, I predict.
It's very easy.
Yes.
Very light.
I think everybody would play this game, and it's a game you have in your library, and your mom and dad come over. Of course, my mom and dad wouldn't come over because they're in the graveyard. But if your mom or dad or people that come over in your family and they don't play board games, you get something like this out and teach it, and it's just a good time because it's got enough there that seasoned board gamers like it and will play it. We've played a lot of board games in our lifetime, and I enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can teach it very quickly in 5 minutes to somebody, and they can beat you at it. And that's a beautiful thing in board gaming. So, that's Captain Flip 2024. Again, we're here at Dice Tower Con East. and the vendor market's open. Lori and I are going to go take a trip over there and see what kind of things we shouldn't spend our money on, and come back and play a game called Flock of Feather. What's it? Flock Together. Flock Together. So we're going to do that one next. And I hope you're having a great day board gaming. It's so hot outside that you sweat on the inside if you go out there. So we're staying indoors. Yeah, so we'll talk to you next time on the Bones Collector. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, welcome to Bones Collector. We're still here at Dice Tower Con East, and this is our third or fourth game of the day. I don't remember how many.
I think it's 4.
But we just got done playing a 2024 title called Flock Together. It's for 1 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, 25 minutes per player. And I don't know about that 25 minutes per player. I don't know. Well, we're just learning.
Well,
so,
we were learning. It took us longer than that.
and I don't, who's the publisher? What does that say?
Sea Cow Games.
And the designer, can you say his name?
Matt Mundy.
Matt Mundy.
Art
Okay.
by Andrew Bosley.
Yeah, art by Andrew Bosley. So here's the thing. This game is really published nice. Wow. You know, I always talk about that. The box is fantastic.
And
Thick,
all these little bowls came in the game.
yeah, thick cardboard. You get all these little bowls for the food and eggs. And these double layered player boards are super nice. Your health trackers are made out of thick wood. Man, this is really nice. All your food tokens are wood and screen printed. These binder books, these, what do you call these? Spiral books that have different pages. You're going to be one of these characters, and you start out weak, and that's your starting ability and your starting health.
As a chick.
You're a chick. Then once you eat 5 meals, you level up to this 11, and your health goes up to 4. And then now that's your ability, your new ability. And once you eat 11 meals, get to 11 on your meal tracker, which is right here on your board. When you get to 11, you level up again, and you turn the page, and that's your new. It says high producer, roll twice for eggs during your production roll. This icon gives you your roll that you have to have in order to get an egg. And it's easier as you're a chick. You get a food automatically, and then here you roll a 2 through a 6 and you get an egg. Here it's a 3 through a 6. And then when you start out as a chick also, your attack is only 1, then it goes to 2, and then it goes to 3. So that's pretty cool. You're leveling up in this game with your character. Yeah, it's got a cutout for the spiral to fit down in right there. I mean, I thought this game was pretty nicely detailed in the way that it was made. It has a place for your food. You'll end up with food tokens like this, and there'll be eggs. Well, we've spent all these, which will have eggs in your egg reservoir and food tokens in here. And it's got all these cool food tokens. And
There's a rat.
give me a rat, yeah. And then a green thing too. So you got all these food tokens. Worm, like that, yeah. So, and you keep all that here, and you have to spend that for your attack. So if my attack is 3, if I wanted to attack with 3, I'd have to spend 3 food. So you spend 1 food per attack value. And then this is a cooperative game. We are oppressed chickens, and we are trying to defeat all these predators on the board. There's 3 tablets of predators, and then there's 1 boss predator that's going to be closed, so you don't know who it is. This is the final. It says final right on the board, and you put your final predator there. You see his eyes. It's a very spooky game. Then you have these health trackers for every predator on the board, and as you battle them, they get stronger. Their effect against you gets stronger, and you take their attack off of this health tracker. So your attack is automatic for the most part, unless there are cards that have an effect. But for the most part, your attack's automatic. If you attack with 3, it's going to do 3 damage. But the predator will also have an attack, and there's no way you can block that unless you have a card with a special effect or something on it. You have these spaces that you go to. You can see on the board to attack these predators. This one up here, and then this is called the coop, and you can battle these grubs. And this is inside the coop. This is outside the coop. That positioning matters. And then on this track here, this is your weather track. This is a weather vane. That's a pretty cool piece in itself. Nice wooden hunk. And you have 3 seasons you're going to play through. And every time you hit this egg exchange weather vane marker, you're going to change the weather card. So you'll have a stack of 3. And we played that wrong during the game.
Yeah.
We were turning over a weather card on every turn. So we were pretty more damaging
ourselves.
Than we should have been. As you lose health from attacks, you turn those over, and the health tokens have an X on that side, so you have to pay for one of your actions. I think you have 7 actions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 8 actions on your player board that you can take. And then you also have a token in the upper right-hand corner of your player board that it has a campfire on it. You can take an extra action, and then it refreshes when the season changes. So that's the spent and then refreshed. And all the card stock is linen, gorgeous card stock. Look at this egg. This egg for a first player token, that's heavy metal, man. That thing's pretty nice. So the publishing of this game is off the charts, off the hook. And then you got a
And
big,
the box is really nice.
yeah, and you got a big stack of bonus cards there. And those bonus cards give you effects that will help you. It's one of your actions you can take. And defeating these grubs and getting their cards to help you also is important. This game's pretty hard to beat, I think. Every time you defeat one of these predators, you turn the page, and the predator gets stronger in his effect to you. So you're going to roll these beautiful sculpted dice, which also comes with the game. So depending on the predator, and it'll give you a dice value that you're rolling, and whatever dice value you roll will determine whether that effect takes place or not. So, but this game, I don't know, it could be pretty tough to beat. It's pretty interesting. It's hard to give a definitive answer as to whether it's a very, very good game or not, because we only had one play, and that's all we're going to have. It's the way it is. When we read the rule book, and there's some to this game, so it took a while to read the rule book and get things going. But I like the fact that it's cooperative. I like the theme of it. These oppressed chickens. And here's some of the chickens' name. I was playing Annie Yoakley, excuse me, because I was a chicken. What was your chicken name? Sherlock Holmes. Lori was Sherlock Holmes. And you get a whole thing of chicken binders. Yeah, so you're going to have a lot of variety in this game of different characters you can play. This is Attila the Hen. I like that. Attila the Hen. And what's this one here? Winston Coophill. So, I mean, there's all these chicken names, so it's cute. It's got a cute factor to it, and again, there's some nice variety, and you have
with the predators.
Yeah, you have a lot of predator books.
They're cute names too. This one's Al Capone.
Al Capone. And then, yeah, so you get, plus the ones that are on the board, you get, excuse me, just knocked something on the floor. Pick it up. We get all these predator books, so you have a nice variety in the game itself of predators. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, the game is published in a pretty fantastic fashion. The board's a little bit large. I probably could have been 20% smaller, I think. Yeah, there's not a lot of reason for this board to be this big. Yeah, this should have been a little smaller, and I think they won $85 for it here at the vendor exhibition room or whatever, where they're selling games. I told Laura I'm not gonna pay $85 for a game I've never played. So we sat down. We got it from the library. I just got in the country today. I heard the guy say.
Oh, okay.
So we wanted to play it, and it's pretty nice. I don't know if it would be good enough to replace any of the co-op games that we have at home, but it's interesting, and it would need more plays for me to make a judgment on it. I would be rash to say that this isn't a really good game. It's interesting enough that I would want to play it again, I think.
Oh, definitely. It
But
was fun.
I mean, even this rule book, which is really good, nice large font, and it's the size of a comic book, which I love. It's not that great big rule book, and this is all linen also. Linen finish in this rule book. Again, and it tells you how to play this game exactly. We were able to figure it out from the rule book, which is a couple of times we've learned that rule books are very important. But yeah, that's it. That is Flock Together. We loved our time with it. I don't know how good it is. I don't know what to tell you. Play it. It's interesting enough that you should check it out. If you like cooperative games, first of all, and then the publishing of this game is fantastic. Everything in it is top notch. So that's pretty cool. And that's the way games should be. These sculpted dice that are custom for the game. A 6 is a chicken's face. That's a chicken's face. That's a 6. And then you've got 4, 5, 3, 2 is 2 chickens' feet, and 1 is just an X. So, I mean, I love custom dice, and board game publishers need to come through with that so that you have dice that are specific to your game. That's pretty neat. And our chickens are pretty cool.
And they come in a lot of colors.
Yeah,
There's
a
a
ton
lot
of
of variety for chicken colors.
yeah. So
Where they are.
when it comes to publishing, this game is a 10 for sure. The gameplay itself, it's interesting. It's a cool theme. Chickens being oppressed and fighting to survive one more year, and so you go through those seasons to complete 1 year and try to defeat the big boss at the top of the board. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys are having a fun time gaming. That is Flock Together by Sea Cow Games. Yeah, that's an interesting game, and if you get a chance to play it, that'd be awesome. But have a great day. I love every one of you. See you next time with the Bones Collector. Bye bye. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Bones Collector, and excuse me, I'm tired. We're still here at Dice Tower Con East 2024, playing as many 2024 games as we can, and I think this is one. Isn't this 2024? The Battle of Versailles. It's a two-player only game, and it takes about a half an hour to play. It's a card game in the world of fashion, which is pretty cool in itself. And the publishing of the game it's okay. It's in a little tiny box, and these runway tiles. This is a runway for this model, and she's showcasing herself down this runway. And each one of these runway tiles has an action, and they're pretty nice thick tiles. I will say that. This board is thin and chintzy.
Yeah, it doesn't sit flat.
Doesn't sit flat. Card stock is just regular card stock, but they're oversized, like tarot-sized cards. Would those be tarot? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not quite.
They're pretty large. Each player is going to play one side of this fashion battle. You're either on the French side or the American, and there are different victory conditions having to do with depending on the side that you happen to be playing. So your strategy is going to be different because of that. And the way you win this game is if someone manages to fill every one of these 7 spaces with these celebrity cards, which you can see I had 2 and Lori had 1 on there, the French side. If I manage to collect 15 of these icons off Versailles tiles, that's an automatic victory for France. And if the Americans get 6 different icons on a row of dresses in one of these runway tiles, they automatically win. And if the prestige marker reaches the top of this track, depending on whoever's it is, they would win the game automatically, because what you do is once you earn those prestige points, you just take the difference, and that's going to be added on to that particular country's side. So if France scored 8 and the American side scored 5, it's going to move up 3 on the France side on the prestige track, and that's how that prestige track wins. The rule book is pretty decent. It's a pretty complex little card game for what it is. I mean, it's fun enough because you're playing these dresses with icons on them, and you have designers that are going to, depending on what icons they have on their card, you're going to look down the runway, and whatever dresses you have displayed, you're going to score points for that. Or you're going to get this bonus at the bottom. I'm sorry. You're going to get this bonus at the bottom of the card. And there's cards that let you upgrade these runway tiles, and it uses this light system right here. If the light's on, you're going to have the advantage on that tile. And then if you flip it over, it switches sides, I believe. And then like this was upgraded. This is the designer tile. And on the starting side, it has 2 lights on for France and a wild card icon. And then if you flip it over, it has 3 lights on with the wild card icon. And the Americans have to have 3 dress icons, I believe, to score instead of 2, instead of a pair. So that's different things you're going to do with those tiles. But yeah, it's a fun enough game. It is an interactive and mean card game, though. I'm just going to read some of these cards that I have in my French deck here. Move 1 dress of either team and exchange the active runway tile with either the previous one or next one. Move 1 dress of either team and play a discarded dress. Discard 1 card from your opponent's income tile and exchange the active runway tile with either the previous one or the next one. Discard 1 dress in play from each team. Play a discarded celebrity or move a dress of either team. Play a discarded celebrity or discard the last celebrity played by your opponent. And discard 1 opponent's dress from their runway and 1 of your celebrities to play. So, I mean, there's so many games out there in the market that you don't have to play games that have characteristics you don't like. We don't really care for mean games. This one's got some interactive things in it. Some people are going to love this. As a matter of fact, there are people that rave about this game, Battle of Versailles. And if you like that thing and that kind of thing, you don't mind it. If someone's going to take away some of your scoring opportunities, then hey, by all means, try this game out. It isn't for us, but that means nothing. We're old people that don't like to beat up on each other, and it's just not our cup of tea. So, but it is a good game. There's lots of different ways to win it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's the Battle of Versailles. It's a 2024 title designed by Eloy Pujadas and Farron Renalius. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, because all these tiles are in French.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a really good card game. Again, if you like a two-player only game with some take that in it, this is right up your alley.
Tug of war going on.
Yeah, tug of war, take that. But it has so many different ways to win that it's interesting because of that. So if that sounds interesting to you, please give it a try. What are these decks of cards? I think there's 55 cards in this deck. 55, and then you have 5 designer cards, something like that. But yeah, that's Battle of Versailles, and we will see you the next time on the Bones Collector. I love every one of you. Hope you're playing a board game today, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, welcome to the Bones Collector. It is getting late. and
It's storming outside.
It's storming outside, and we are still here at Dice Tower Con East at the Caribe Royale Hotel in beautiful Orlando, Florida, where it's so hot today you will sweat on the inside. So we just got done playing a 2024 game called Umbrella, and it's by Flavian Dauphin and Benoit Turpin, and Vince Dutray did the art. So yeah, this is an interesting game. It is an abstract strategy puzzle.
Definitely.
And wow, I don't know what to say. This really hurt my brain. There's not a lot of components or pieces of this game, and here's how it works. This is a 2-player game, and it changes for a 3- and 4-player game. But you have various waiting zones with tokens on them. You have left, right, center, and you have a waiting zone at the bottom of your board. And you are going to try to complete these diagram tiles, and you have to do them all in one color. So if you can see what that looks like, you've got to have tokens all that in one color in those positions exactly on your board in that configuration. And things like that and like that. And once you finish it, you're going to give it to your opponent and put it at the top of their board, and you can orient it any way you want as long as the star on the tile is over the star on the board. Then you will take one of these black scoring tokens and put it on the color that you use to complete that tile. And then if you can do all of that one section on the board, you'll get that bonus. Like Lori got the bonus of 3 points here for completing that. And these, she did not get the bonus, but you get 2 points each for each tile you completed in each color. So the scores are very low. You got 16, I got 11.
Yep.
And
because you lose points down here.
yeah, anything on the bottom waiting zone is -1. I had 4, so I lost those 4 points. If it had been empty, you still would have beat by a point.
+2.
Oh, do you? Oh, I might have won. But when you take a tile from this board, you have to put it in this side, knock one out, and put it on this board. If you take one from this board, of course, you put it in this side, you put it on this board. If you take one from the top, it has to come down on your board from the top, and the extra token goes in the waiting zone. If you take one from the bottom waiting zone and you shove it in the bottom here, you're going to take that token and put it in the center. And you're trying to make these configurations on these tiles, and I'm telling you what, my head hurt trying to think of ways to do that. This is a pretty brain-burning puzzle. It's probably the most brain-burning puzzle I've played in a long time. Lori says, "Oh, I like it. Let's get it." I'm like, "Who would play it with you? Not me." I have tears in my eyes from thinking so hard. Oh my gosh! But I did not expect that to be that hard. Did you?
No.
Wow. I don't know. It was just hard. The strategy I took was just try to get, this is going to guide you, because once you cover up some of these colors, I can't do any more green. I've covered up all the green that was on my board. So no more green. So I can't, green tokens are no good to me. You just
yellow.
You got to get rid of them. You just have yellow left. That's even worse. These are dual layered player boards, so these sit in here real nice.
This is in here.
And then there's a bunch of these
Yeah.
bonus boards that you put in here that are just, that you're going to use to score points for bonuses and stuff. But wow, that was a hard puzzle, man. That was a hard puzzle. Hey, my hat's off to these guys. That's a tough game. I mean, I don't know. That game would have to be, I don't know if it would be in my top 10 for 24. Probably. Jeez. That was, I mean, it just intrigues me when somebody has an idea for a game and it's so small, but it's so hard. It hurts. It just hurts. And that's what this situation is. But you got to play this. It's pretty awesome. I had fun. And it only, would it take 30 minutes? 25?
Maybe. And there's hardly any rules. So.
I was like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to quit. This game hurts my head. But yeah, so we had a good time doing it. Hey, I hope you're having a great board gaming day. I'll cover the components a little bit. These are thick wooden discs that you're going to play with. You know, pretty nice tiles. I notice these boards have a little bit of warp to them.
They're double layered.
They're double layered and it's kind of warping a little bit, but I don't think it, would be an issue. And what did I say? It plays 1 to 4, so you can play the solo. It says half an hour on the box, and that's exactly right. It's a half an hour. And once, the end game trigger is once does this change for player count?
Yeah.
So we picked 11 of these scoring tokens out and put them in this little container. Once you place all 11 of those on these scoring boards, then it triggers the end of the game. And was there another? Oh yeah.
Yeah. If nobody had any of these.
Nobody
left,
had any of those.
And if somebody had filled up all of them.
Yeah. And you can see Lori was doing better. She only had 2 of those left, and I had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she was just getting those things finished, and I was like, stop! And not to mention, once you finish this, you can look at your opponent's board and say, I see all that green, or I see all that yellow, and you're trying to build yellow. I see that pattern you're trying to build. I'm going to cover that up for you. Go ahead and switch gears. So you can be, but the game is so hard I couldn't bother with that.
We just put the button in.
Yeah, I was just trying to put my patterns together to finish one of these tiles. Hey, it's a great game. That's Umbrella. I was glad to tell you about it. Have a great night. And
Sliding in the rain.
Sliding in the rain. Wow. Yeah, I'm wasted. See you later. Next time on the Bones Collector. We'll be here tomorrow at Dice Tower Con East. Bye bye.